Hello. So I've pulled over in a lay-by. I'm using my lay-by technique, which I described a couple of videos ago. So check that one out. It's the way that I get my admin done. Pull over on the side of the road and do all my work before I go home. So I'm sitting here in my van, just finished work, covered in dirt, covered in sawdust, and I thought I would do a video on time management. So time management is an issue for the majority of people with ADHD. It's always been an issue for me. It continues to be an issue. It's not something that goes away when you have ADHD. It's something that you have to put systems in place to learn to manage. So basically the neuroanatomy of ADHD, the way the ADHD brain is wired and the way the ADHD brain functions means that time awareness and time management are extremely likely to be a major issue for the majority of people with ADHD. So it's very, very important that you come up with ways of managing this. There are basically a couple of very, very simple methods that you can use. So the first one, it seems very obvious, but a lot of people with ADHD don't do this. I know a lot of people with ADHD and a lot of them don't do what I'm about to recommend. Very simple, always wear a watch. Now, I find that if I don't have a watch on constantly, I develop time blindness. So I have absolutely no awareness of what the time is. I have heard it said in my research into ADHD that there are two times when you have ADHD, now and not now. I'm sure that's a concept with which you're probably familiar if you have ADHD. Always wearing a watch has made a massive difference to my life. I run a business, so I have a lot of things I need to organise. I'm a single parent, so I have a lot of responsibilities around my little boy, and I need to get him to school, I need to pick him up from school, I need to take him to swimming lessons, and these are things that would all be a huge struggle if I was constantly turning up late. So I've got very good at being on time for things. It's a major priority for me in my life, and the thing that has been more effective than anything else is wearing a watch. I'll give you an example of when it's most useful. I'm a tree surgeon. I spend the majority of my working day up trees or on top of hedges, and I lose all sense of time when I'm working, and so I have to wear a watch. If I don't wear a watch, we end up running over, the jobs don't finish on time. I also use wearing a watch for general time management, and it has made a huge and significant difference to me. Now, the next technique I would recommend, and this is again in relation to wearing a watch, that is set your watch 3 minutes fast and live according to that time. So don't remind yourself, oh, it's 3 minutes fast, I've got an extra 3 minutes. Use those extra 3 minutes to give yourself a little bit of an edge when it comes to getting to places on time. But by far the most effective technique I've developed, and which I stick to religiously, is something I call the 30-minute technique. When I have an appointment, when I have to be anywhere, when I have to get to work, when I have to pick my boy up from school, when I have to take him to swimming class, it doesn't matter what the appointment is or how important I think it is, I always aim to get there 30 minutes early. So the way this works is, I know that I have to get to a job at 8 a.m. So I set my alarm in the morning based on getting to that first job by 7:30 a.m. When it comes to deciding what time I need to leave the job I'm working on that day, what I'll do is I'll decide what time I need to be at whatever the appointment is I have after work. For example, picking up my little boy from school. So if I need to pick him up at 3:10, I don't need to be there at 3:10. I need to be there at 2:40, and I leave the job based on picking him up at 2:40. I say I leave the job, what I do is I aim to leave the job at 2:40. So, because I have ADHD, even though I know I have to be somewhere at a certain time, there'll be a lot of factors that come into play between me finishing what I'm doing and actually leaving. So what happens is I very, very rarely get somewhere half an hour early. I usually arrive exactly on time. So get up in the morning, set your alarm half an hour earlier than you actually need to, which will involve going to bed half an hour earlier than you would normally. Get out of bed in the morning and aim to be at work at 8:30 instead of 9 o'clock. What you'll find is that you won't be rushing. You'll just get there on time. You won't get there super early. You might get there a few minutes early. You may get there really early, but I would say it's probably unlikely. If you're somebody who's been late for everything every day of your life, like I had up until the point where I started developing these techniques for managing my time, you'll probably just arrive on time, and how wonderful that'll be. So these techniques have made a huge difference to my life. Fairly simple, but stick to them. I stick to them every single day of my life, and it's made a massive difference. Thank you very much for watching the video. If you've got any comments or questions, then please comment below and give me a thumbs up if you like the video. See you again soon. Thank you. Bye.